Hey folks.
Phlegm.
Fliegem.
Phlegm. You have to say it with more phlegm. Oh,
Phlegm.
man. That was a lot of phlegm.
Flawed?
phlegm.
Was it flawed phlegm?
Flimmity,
Flawed.
flibbity, flobble. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Press the Action Button podcast. As always, I am your host, Joystick. And with me this week is Gameface, who you've already heard. Say hello, Gameface.
I think I just can't get into anything new because I've been playing Sonic 4, which we'll get into later, but I ended up playing that and then just kind of reverting to Mega Man 4, which I've been playing all day. Hey guys, though, I didn't get to say hello, so hello.
And then Glitch, who you heard with the phlegm there.
The Fliegem.
Mega Man 9's Wily boss stages are fucking impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say that.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Brental Floss's 5-second review of Mega Man 9,
This game's
right?
freaking hard!
It's like, this game's fucking hard! He just walks off.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
Well,
it took me 2 solid good months to actually beat Splash Woman. I might suck, but she was the last one I beat, so... Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
you should have expected it to be hard. It's Mega Man. I mean, has Mega Man ever been easy? The
Yes.
easiest Mega Man game is like the Legends games, and even those aren't a cakewalk.
Mm-hmm. I remember playing Batman on the NES back in college and thinking like, oh man, this is hard. This is like Mega Man hard. And then I went back to Mega Man 3, which me and my brother used to play, and I was like, Batman was freaking easy!
Compared to this.
Oh man, I was like, how did we do this as a kid?
Yeah, Mega Man is really, really hard. Really difficult.
I don't want to make you hard. Ah.
But yeah, I can just sum up my anger of Mega Man 9 just one level. Wily Stage 2. There's a small corridors, like there's 4 corridors, and it's all underwater. So what you gotta do is you gotta jump from place to place, and the problem is though is that there's spikes everywhere. So if you jump too soon, you hit the ceiling and you fall down. If you jump too late, you fall down. You gotta do it just right. It takes like 10 tries at least to get it
Reminds
right.
me of Mega Man 3.
I haven't gotten past that part yet.
Do you get kind of tremble when you think about it?
Yeah.
You sound like you're kind of shuddering a little.
It is horrifying me. It is giving me nightmares. I am Mega Man. And I jump in, and I die over and over again. And then the 10th time, whenever I finally make it, I get killed.
So it's like one of those dreams where you're just falling, and right before you hit the ground, you wake up, except instead of waking up, the dream just starts over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
We getting
Just try to be a bit louder this week is all
but not too loud, we have neighbors.
Yeah, who could tend to complain when we get very loud at all, which kind of sucks, because I want decent volume levels for this.
Well, we did start we are doing it a little bit earlier than usual this week. 9:30 as opposed to, 10:30, so who knows, we might be okay. I really don't know what her sleep schedule is.
Neither do I, but, so yeah, more Texas Rangers baseball.
Here we go.
They beat the Tampa Bay Rays in round 1 in the American League Division Series. First time they have ever won a postseason series and advanced to the American League Championship Series, where they are facing off against the New York Yankees. Series is currently tied at 1. It shifts back to New York for games 3, 4, and 5 tomorrow, because baseball is kind of lame like that and does not do it the fair way with hockey, with the 7-game series where it's 2 games, 1, 1, 1.
Oh, and the Steelers won again today. And I would not have known that. I hadn't heard it from my parents because it wasn't on any local stations. Because here in, Harrisburg, we are actually closer to Baltimore, Maryland than we are to Pittsburgh. So they assume that there's more Ravens fans around here, and the Ravens are playing at the same time. They figured that we'd favor the Raves over the Steelers. And nobody freaking likes the Ravens around here. Seriously.
It's either the Eagles or the Steelers around here. Mostly Eagles for some reason.
I've actually encountered more Steelers fans than Eagles fans. I mean, I know a few Eagles fans. I like to make fun of them just because they're not the Steelers.
Yeah.
Oh man, when the
From what I don't know, but from what I've heard, the Eagles have actually done fairly well this year.
they've done pretty well recently. I mean, when they took the Super Bowl back in what was that? 08? I guess it would have been 09. I was in college.
Are you talking about the Steelers? Or
No.
the Eagles?
It was the Steelers.
Because the Steelers took one not too
I'm
long.
thinking about the Phillies winning the World Series. So yeah, it would have been 08.
It was 08 that the Phillies won the World Series. They got
yeah,
back
yeah,
to
yeah.
it last year and
Yeah, it
lost to
was-
the Yankees.
Steelers won the Super Bowl in it was early in like,
Cliff Lee single-handedly tried to beat the...
and then later on that year, that was funny. I was walking across campus and you just hear hoots and hollerings from every conceivable direction.
Yeah.
But it was even better when the Phillies won the World Series because I lived in an off-campus apartment at the time, and there were people driving around the cul-de-sac doing burnouts. You could hear this whole neighborhood going nuts, and someone was setting off like professional-grade fireworks. Somebody was speeding around the loop of road, blasting the Rocky theme. That was pretty cool.
To me, that's the only good thing that Philadelphia has ever brought out.
Heck
and,
yes.
And cheesesteaks.
Now, of course, cheesesteaks. Well, there's other stuff.
Cheesesteaks and Rocky. There's only two things that.
And the angry video game nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. Phone's ringing, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Donnie.
he is from Philly.
There's other good stuff from Philly. Like, there's a bell
That cracked.
Yeah.
The room.
And murder. Oh, wait, that's not good.
No. The room was in
It's like Seattle or something.
No,
San Francisco. Yeah. I know. I was trying to think of what was that stupid movie that started off in Philadelphia? The Happening. Movie.
Is that an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
M. Night Kamehameha?
Yeah, that guy.
I think so. No, wait.
Is that the one where the enemy is the wind? Because that's freaking retarded.
Apparently,
Yeah. Well, it was actually the plants. The plants were giving off some kind of gas that was making people want to kill themselves in order to defend themselves.
I remember Spoonie held like a contest to see if someone could come up with a adversary that's more retarded than the one in that movie.
Wow.
No. I thought it was with Ultima 4.
The grass.
Yeah, he did the grass battles as well. That was cool. He posted. I've watched the winners for that. It's pretty funny.
I haven't yet, but
They had like one that was like Albert Wesker battling the grass. It was like a German. It was like a European, like Scandinavian version of Albert Wesker battling grass. It was awesome and stupid, and I loved it. It had like a grass monster.
Wow.
I think they set it on fire.
That's pretty much all you can do. This is my loud face. Loud.
The coolest, one of the cooler ones that I saw that he posted up was one that was set to someone reading Leaves of Grass. And it was like, Walt Whitman warned us, and we didn't listen. About the evils of the grass.
The grass. There should have been some Reefer Madness references in there. So, what are we drinking tonight? Rheingold is what we're drinking tonight. Yeah, I questioned it, and Alex, but pop 'em. The Rheingold beer, not lager, not ale. It's just beer, and it's a registered trademark.
Burr.
New York, Est, 1883. That's a history you can trust.
Here's a good question that I've asked, because I've in my house there's like a wine enthusiast, and I always wanted to ask him, does beer age like a good wine?
Only like really, really premium beers can age. Most beer only has, and some wine doesn't really age either. Some wine will actually go bad after a year or two.
That's why I said a good wine.
Yeah, a good beer, like I have here on my shelf an empty bottle, it's filled with cigarette butts right now, but of Chimay Trappist Ale. You could probably have that indefinitely. You could have that for a decade, and it wouldn't get worse, it might even get better. But most beer, if you have it for 3 weeks to a month, it'll start to go bad.
So imagine how bad that Billy beer was that Homer had on The Simpsons. The episode where they went to the rock concert and it was Spinal Tap.
I don't recall that one, honestly.
He put on his quote-unquote concert-going jacket, and it was a Billy beer in the pocket.
Billy beer. I want to try a Zhigulskoye.
You know, supposedly Billy Carter didn't even drink that much beer.
Yeah, but he had one named after him, and that's cool. It's like James Rolfe has his Cinema Merlot, and it's like a wine, what do you call it? Like a bottle opener with a chainsaw coming out of it as the logo.
Speaking of which, we should watch more Monster Madness sometime.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that. I love those things.
Monster Madness is pretty sweet. Apparently, he didn't just pick her up; he picked up the entire background.
What movie was that? What movie was that from?
I think that was the Colossus movie.
There's a guy.
It was the Cyclops. The Cyclops.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, thirsty. I need some beer.
The movie The Cyclops.
Frame. You see a hand. If you haven't seen this, check out Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. They do it one episode, brief episode for every day in October, and it's just a review of a vintage, classic monster movie or horror movie.
You know what looks sweet though?
Your mom?
He did one that was like The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires, and it was done in like the 70s or something when like kung fu movies were first getting really big in the United States.
Oh no!
So it's like a kung fu vampire movie.
Yes,
I want to see it.
Oh, you know what the most awesome kung fu movie is though? Black Dynamite. That's like
Black Dynamite.
No. There's a scene in there where
Never heard of it.
Black Dynamite. Yeah, it's a black exploitation film.
Of course.
But no, what happened? There's a scene in there where he kicks down a few bad guys, and he kicks down the door, and he sees this like Asian man with this, the briefcase and the, what do you call those? The handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, you see something fly through the window, cuts off the Chinese dude's hand. He walks up in front of him. The guy was like going and he's like goes like ha! I threw that shit before I came in the room, and he kicks him. And he grabs the briefcase and runs. I gotta show you this sometime. It's awesome.
Man.
It's
Black
like the most
Dynamite.
glorious piece of cinema I've ever seen.
Oh,
Did you see Machete?
I have not, no.
Oh, Machete is awesome. He uses the guy's intestines to rappel down to a lower story on a hospital.
I
Yeah.
heard about
And
that.
he kicks through a window. It is so badass.
I was laughing my face off.
Oh.
I saw about 2 weeks ago. I watched like 3 werewolf movies back to back, and they just got worse and worse and worse, and I loved every minute of it.
They were all better than The Howling 3.
Yeah, that is true. That was which was in turn was still better than The Howling 2.
I haven't seen The Howling 2, but if
it's putrid.
if it's worse than The Howling 3, I don't think I want to see it
sit
because
through any piece of crap with a straight face. I might get a little antsy and want to get up and go like slam my head in the window, but I won't. I was watching The Howling 2. I got about halfway through. I was like, why is this on film? Why are they doing this to me? They don't even know me.
you know that has to be better than Mono's Hands of Fate, though.
The Hands of
Well,
Fate.
no. See,
Well, Monos was just bad. Howling 2 was just like, that doesn't need to be in a movie. Don't do that.
it's one of those so bad it's good movies kind of thing. I'm sure I haven't seen
No,
Howling 2, but
Mono's Hands of Fate is worse than the so bad it's good movie.
you need to riff on it. Like the first viewing through, you need to riff on it. You can't just go it through.
Yeah, well, that...
Otherwise, you'll probably fall asleep because in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie, literally nothing happens. It's
Monos-
the shots of people driving through the
Monos
countryside,
and
and
Plan
that's it.
9 have two things in common that detract from the entertaining cheese factor and make them very, very hard to watch. And that's that
Plan
they're
9 is
just
awesome.
too slow.
Plan 9 is funny, though. Oh, when he drops his gun, he's like, "It's jammed!"
I haven't seen that movie for a long time.
I feel bad for the Mystery Science Theater guys because they had to view Manos of Fate, but they have a minimum of a 7-time watch of the movie. So they have to watch it 7 times in order to get through, when to say the jokes. What jokes are being appropriate? Are they going to use any repeating jokes? Like, they had to view that movie saying 7 times.
Yeah.
7 times.
And apparently, like, the original version of Mono's Hands of Fate
Was
is
longer.
even worse. Well, simply by virtue of the fact that it is, in fact, longer.
If you go on YouTube or, heaven forbid, actually buy it and watch clips from The Room that weren't covered on the Nostalgia Critics review, you will see that he actually edited out some of the worst acting. He just omitted it.
How far into this are we? Should we get to the first topic?
Sure.
We're 17 minutes.
Hand me the topic.
And
Hand me the topics.
pork rinds now 50% off, only at Mugamart.
Also, fun fact about Manos. Did you know the original camera they used had no sound, so they had to dub everything in?
Yeah, and it only recorded about 30 seconds of footage at a time.
Well, did you know that actually all film cameras most film cameras up until for the time at least, didn't have sound on them. They had to record it separately anyways. They just usually had a little synchronizer box that stopped and started the audio tape along with the film.
Okay,
Your mom.
we're going to talk more film here because
Uh-oh.
the Uncharted Drake's Fortune is headed to the big screen.
Yay.
Officially. Writer David O. Russell has been penciled in to be the flick's writer and director. In the past, he has directed Spanking the Monkey, I Heart Huckabees, and Flirting with Disaster. I have not heard of 2 of these movies, and the third one I haven't seen.
All I'm going to say is...
You haven't heard Wait, you haven't heard of I Heart Huckabees?
That's the one I have heard of.
Oh, okay.
It's so going to be an Indiana
Flirting
Jones.
with Disaster... Well, yeah, I would expect it to be similar to Indiana Jones, considering Indiana Jones is a huge source of influence for the Uncharted games. And it worked extremely well. The Uncharted games are awesome. And they're the perfect kind of thing to transfer into a popcorn flick if they do it right.
If they
Popcorn
do it,
flick.
'cause I guarantee you somebody's going to put a rolling ball trap or something in there. Call it a homage, but really it'll just be a rip-off or something.
Yeah.
They won't add anything new to it.
Well, they'll make... hopefully, depending on... I think they might, tip it make it a tip of the hat and just have, rolling ball and then, he looks at it.
You've seen
He
me
starts
play
to bump
Uncharted before. I mean,
Jeez,
just watch
interrupting me again. I have seen... Yeah, I have. Thank you for asking.
So you have seen influence from Indiana Jones in it, surely.
I've seen about 5 minutes of you playing it. That's about it.
I thought you'd watched me for a bit longer than that.
At the most.
I love how nonchalant Nate Drake is, though.
I saw the opening sequence. It's about all I really remember. And when you were climbing on this kind of a crater kind of a thing.
The pirates show up, and then Elena's just like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Pirates."
Pirates?
He just says it so nonchalant, like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. It's just pirates coming to kill us." But yeah, this would make a good popcorn flick. They could turn this into a good movie if they put time and effort into it. But I think they'll probably just do a cash in like they usually do.
They'll just get high.
Oh no, I just got high.
I was gonna say he's watching the ball rolling towards him, and he turns to start walking, and he trips over something, so he ducks and covers, and then the ball just kind of rolls off on some other track, and he gets up then a bird craps on his head.
That might actually happen in a Jones movie. Bird shit on my windshield. You gonna be somebody's dinner. That's what you gonna be. that was an Undercover Brother. At the beginning of it, he goes in. He veers off and goes into a spin out, and he's holding like
I
a
remember
big
that.
gulp, and he holds it perfectly still so it doesn't spill at all while he's spitting out. And then he gets out of that and continues driving, and a bird shits on his windshield. Oh, that was a good movie.
Wow, I don't remember that part, but I saw a little bit of it. It was funny.
If you're not looking for undercover lover, you must be looking for undercover brother.
Looking for a lover won't blow my cover.
Remember, it was Neil Patrick Harris in that movie. It was awesome.
Wait, who's that? Who dat?
You know, when Harold and Kumar go to White Castle?
I never actually saw it.
Oh, dude. Shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember him
I've
being
heard
in
good
Harold and
things.
Kumar Go to White
The
Castle.
first one, though. White Castle's good. But yeah. Apparently he's like this really cool dude who, I don't know, you just gotta see it. You gotta know who Neil
I know he played Matt Hazard.
Try and
didn't
hold
he?
the microphone
did,
a little
yeah.
bit closer to your mouth because it's really coming up quiet.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I believe he
That's
played
cool.
Matt Hazard in the Bloodbath and Beyond. I think was the name of the game.
Whoa, Bloodbath and Beyond.
Isn't that awesome?
That is it just brought a tear to my eye.
More games should have names like Bloodbath and Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Have either of you seen I Heart Huckabees?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen parts of it.
I liked it. It's not for everyone, but I liked it.
I heard it's really abstract.
It's abstract, but it's also like self-aware. Like they make fun of it for being, it kind of makes fun of itself for being so abstract. Because it's like there's this guy, and there's all these coincidences in his life, and he hires these like metaphysical detectives, and they try and explain to him how like everything's connected. Then he meets this other girl who's an author, who's an existentialist, and that's like the complete opposite. And they're both trying to like tell him how to look at the world, and like everything just like falls apart. But it's funny. It's a dark comedy.
I've heard that
It's love it or hate it.
he's never done an action movie before, which obviously that's what an Uncharted movie would be.
So then what that means to me is that it's probably not going to be it's just not going to be a cookie cutter plot, you know?
I don't know, but I don't know, but a lot of people seem to be concerned about that. Oh, this guy's not done this type of thing before. Will he be any good at it? And it's possible for a director to venture out into other genres and be very, very good at them. I mean, who would have thought that with the one single comedy he wrote, Stanley Kubrick would have written one of the best comedies of all time with Dr. Strangelove. He wrote one comedy, and everyone loved it.
Jimmy Neutron.
And then he wrote
Jimmy
one horror
Neutron.
movie, and it's considered one of the best ever made.
Which one was that?
The Shining.
The Shining.
But technically he didn't write it. It was, Stephen King wrote it.
Well, he directed it. I mean,
I remember something in The Simpsons, where Homer goes crazy, and they're
no TV, no beer, make home or something.
and then like that, and then the doors open, the blood's falling out, and Mr. Burns is like, huh, that's strange.
Blood usually gets off at the second floor. I loved that. It's just like ankle deep in blood. Just standing there. Grandpa showed up for no reason.
You mean the Shining? Shh, no, we don't want the lowers on asses. You mean the Shining? The Shining.
You just use your shin to call me, and I'll be there. But don't be reading my mind between 5 and 6. That's Willie's time. I love The Simpsons. That's totally.
Next topic.
Gran Turismo 5 was delayed again. Shock. It no longer has a solid release date. Shock. It is now set for this holiday season. Considering it was already set to be released in November, how much later can they have and it still be this holiday season? How do you not know when it was already set to be released in November? Anyway, they said they wanted to put the finishing touches on the game's, quote, more complex systems, end quote. This was an executive decision.
A decisive decision?
An executive decision. It was made by executives at the company.
And it was very decisive.
I never liked Gran Turismo. I thought it was I thought it's just too complex. I'm one of those people that actually prefers fun in my video games.
I thought Gran Turismo 1 and 2 and 3 were a lot of fun. I was never big on racing games, but I played 1, 2, and 3 a shit ton. And then I never got much into 4. I'll probably wind up giving 5 a try when they actually release the damn thing, but God only knows when that's going to be, because it got delayed again.
By the way, fun fact, you know that Gran Turismo 2, you can never get 100% of the game?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, apparently there was a bug. Once you get, if you do get everything in the game, you buy every single part for your car, you'll only get a 98.6% complete, because they programmed the game, because they were in a rush, they wanted to get it out for Christmas. So, they programmed it so fast they added another part that they didn't put in the game.
Apparently they're doing the exact opposite of that, because they announced this in 2005 is when they announced Gran Turismo 5, and it's still not out. They put a solid release date on it at E3, and everybody got excited. Hey, it's finally coming. We're finally going to get Gran Turismo 5. I cannot wait. It looks so awesome and gorgeous. And it does look awesome and gorgeous, but
Fortunately, if they're releasing it for PS3 instead of PS2, they can drop back to 96-bit processing instead of 128. So, it's all fun and dandy.
as if bit processing means much of anything in today's world.
It's easier to program for if you have robot ears.
Yeah, people put up with it on the PlayStation 2, though, because the damn thing sold like 160 million. It sold like wildfire.
High-tech hotcakes?
Yeah, I just don't understand the general public's view of that game. I got in Link 1, 2 I just found annoying, 3 I can never really get past most of the beginning parts of it, but
2 was probably my personal favorite, but one thing I always hated was the freaking driving test, because you have to be so precise just to pass them that it was annoying. And I tried, and I I could eventually get like a B license or an A license, but I could never get anything beyond that, the higher class license in the Gran Turismo games, because it was just so difficult to do so.
Yeah, that's where the Game Shark comes in for me.
Nice.
And I enjoyed the hell out of Gran Turismo 2, and I enjoyed both 1 and 2, but 2 is probably my personal favorite in the series. I loved it.
One thing that always bugged me about those realistic driving games, they always have licensed drivers, though. They always have the licensed cars, the companies, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest problem with that kind of licensing real cars, nobody wants to wreck their own image, so they basically turn damage wreck off.
Yeah, that's why they couldn't. That's why Forza. Forza has damage to their cars, and it could not get the licenses of Gran Turismo because it had damage to their cars.
That's why I like games like as I said earlier, Burnout 3. They have custom cars. They don't have any licenses. They have coupe, technical or coupe special, that kind of stuff, where you could actually wreck them, and it's glorious. It's glorious to see your car all mangled up beyond repair.
I loved the Burnout modes that it's your job just to cause as big of a wreck as you possibly can.
No kidding, I actually got like 10 million in one track. I was so lucky. Oh man, it was glorious.
You should have taken a picture of that to prove. No, really, I got a $10 million wreck. It was awesome.
I wish I could, but we were on vacation, and oh god, we forgot. Believe it or not, we actually did forget our memory cards back. Our memory card back there that had it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That old alibi. I'm serious, guys. I totally got a Peekaboo. Can I see it? I forgot to save it. My Game Boy ran out of batteries. You're an idiot. You know, I'm just messing with you. I believe you. Or do I?
But Peekaboo, there never was a
It was
Peekaboo.
Meryl. It was Marl, or however it's pronounced. I mean, it was in the Pokemon movie. It just wasn't freaking... It had nothing to do with Pikachu. It just vaguely resembled one. Man, I believe that stuff when I first came out.
I remember it was Mew.
Yeah.
Mew was the one to get.
It was Mew.
Well, you could actually get Mew if you exploited, like, Missing No.
Yeah. There was Mew. There was Peekaboo.
And Mew was the only one that was actually real.
There's Mistion. I'm talking about the things that were made up. Farlith and Flareth. Yeah, those were made up.
Mew wasn't made up.
I know. We've established that.
Didn't they have, like, wasn't one of the
This game
movies
is falling
specifically
apart.
centered around Mew?
The first one.
Yeah.
Pokemon, the first movie. Pokemon!
Mew is in Pokemon Snap too.
Well, that was like the bonus level, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rainbow Road. It was lame.
Rainbow Road.
Yeah, like in F-Zero X.
Oh, I was
Mario
gonna
Kart.
say Mario
Rainbow
Kart.
Road and Mario Kart too.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate trend.
Oh, yeah.
Every game.
There was a Rainbow Road in. It's not called that in Pokemon Snap, but it is called Rainbow Road in F-Zero X.
I guess that Nintendo has a gay fetish or something.
Mm-hmm. A gay fetish?
Yeah.
As in, being gay is just a fetish now?
Well, apparently, it's Japan. What do you expect?
It's freaking Japan. Where it's taboo to be gay, but they're all gay anyways. Oh!
No, it's taboo to be gay, and they just all look gay.
I forget the name of the game, but there was one issue of Game Informer that had like the top 10 gayest games ever, and like this one Japanese game wasn't at the top that nobody ever in the United States ever saw because, quite literally, from the ESRB, it is way too gay. Apparently.
Wow.
They have like half-naked men. They have the two main characters are two muscly, like oil-bound guys in speedos, and they shoot things from their mouth, like white stuff in their mouths. Apparently.
Wait. Who
Like
green-lighted the
laser
old
beams.
man in the Speedo?
Wait, who greenlight the man in the Speedo?
I'm sorry, I just can't concentrate on this movie when an old man's butt cheeks are hanging out.
Hey, you know what this scene is missing?
An old man's back.
What movie was that from? That sounds a lot familiar.
The Wizard.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Wait, what the
Nintendo
hell?
games rock. Movies based on Nintendo games. Whoa. So movies about Nintendo games. Whoa. Rock. The remake actually looks pretty cool.
Actually looks faithful. Yeah. But yeah.
Apart from that Daniel Craig thing.
Yeah, that's kind of. I hate New Bond, but that's another rant for another time. Go ahead.
I understand why they did it. I mean, like, there was like 5 or 6 different companies that they would all have to get, that they had to get permission from every single one of them to get the Pierce Brosnan in it. And they said, you know what? Fuck that biznatch. We're just going to put Daniel Craig in there because we can go to this one company, say, hey, can we put Daniel Craig in there? They say, yeah, done. So, I mean, it makes sense. But they got the guy who wrote the original GoldenEye movie writing this game, which is cool.
That sounds good.
Restructuring and layoffs at Propaganda Studios from Disney led to the cancellation of the Pirates of the Caribbean Armada of the Damned open world game for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC.
So they're canceling it?
Yes.
There was a Pirates of the Caribbean game?
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't get any bigger press than it has.
I'm surprised it didn't come out sooner.
Well, there's been a Pirates of the Caribbean game every single time there's been a movie, but this is one that's, I mean, it's in the same universe, but it's not based on it's not about the movies.
Ah.
It is its own thing, which gives it more chance to be good than a game based on the movies, you know? Because that's worked well for Star Wars in the past. Then again, they've also had some decent Star Wars games based on the movies. Super Star Wars springs instantly to mind. That game was awesome.
Hard as shit, but awesome.
Yes, it is hard as balls.
Like, you can get past the second level. But yeah, I actually didn't hear this game. I never, like, I saw a few, posts of it, like, on, like, Great Game Trailers or something like that, but nothing else, really.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was never more media coverage of it. I would think, like, all three Pirates movies did extremely well with the box office. So, I mean, it's an instantly recognizable name. People know Pirates of the Caribbean, and people will latch on to it. So why didn't people go, hey, Pirates of the Caribbean, let's cover that shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I've actually played the Disney Online version of Pirates of the Caribbean because I was bored in the summer whenever I wasn't in school. I tried it.
There was an MMO, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, there was.
It's
It's free, so that's one of the reasons why I liked it. But yeah, it's boring. Like, seriously, all the quests, and this is standard of almost every MMO. It's to get this amount of. It's either get this amount of X item and give them to Y man, kill X amount of enemies and come back to Y man, or get X item from Y cave and give it to Z man.
Looks to be actually changing that convention is Star Wars The Old Republic. Looks like it's going to be changing that MMO convention, which, thank God, because that badly needs to be changed.
Well, I don't know. I like the first two games. I haven't played most of the first one. I played mostly of the second, but
Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah. Unfortunately I had to sell most of my Xbox stuff, which is painful because I only got like $20 out of the entire.
Do you still own the second one?
Huh?
Do you still own the second one?
No, I actually asked my brother to find it for me.
I can let you borrow my copy.
Alright, awesome.
And I've got the first one for PC.
I
don't know how good your PC is, but if you got a PC that'll run it, I can let you borrow that too.
That's the biggest problem of mine. My PC is kind of crap. It has about 500 gigs of memory, but
dang,
megs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, dang, that's crappy.
Oh, bless you.
500 meg of memory.
No, like 500 gigabytes of
hard drive space.
Yeah, but
that's a lot of hard drive space.
That's a lot of hard drive space.
But like
half a terabyte.
Yeah, but pretty much only a like 250, like probably the second biggest RAM you can get. That's about it. I can't remember it though.
Please don't tell me it's 256 megs. That's like my dad's standards.
No. Believe me, I got this PC at a really good price. It was only about like $100. So yeah.
Well,
how old is it?
Me too much.
It was a standard, so I got it for $100.
How old is it though?
Probably only about like about 2 years old now.
It'll probably run this game. I mean, it was an Xbox game, so
it's Vista though, so
I don't know about Vista. Vista
downgrade.
Sucks. Yeah. But
I will give you an XP disc downgrade, and you will be happy.
I'm actually planning to do it with a 7 though, but yeah.
Yeah, but on an older computer, don't do Windows 7.
It's not that old. It's only, as I said, it's only about like 2 years, so maybe. But yeah.
The Propaganda Studio is still working on their other game, Tron, for the upcoming Tron movie.
Which, by the way, we're all going to see on 3D.
Heck yes. I don't care if it's in 3D. I'll still go and watch it. Yeah, I know that sounds really topsy-turvy to say that, but I mean, I'm sure there's a few listeners of ours who have been, like, trapped in a bomb shelter since the 60s. Well, this goes out to you. It's the newest thing, the newest rage in cinema is glorious 2 dimensions, because we're all sick of this new 3D technology. They haven't done it right since Avatar.
Yeah,
Great Justice.
Yeah, and they're gonna put all 3 Star Wars movies in 3D, and that's just gonna suck because every single movie that is done in 3D is put into 3D after the fact winds up looking bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make a really inappropriate comment here about George Lucas and how he uses his money. Yeah, all the money he's made. Mind if I make it?
Go ahead.
The only reason why they're making it in 3D now is because George Lucas ran out of money for his coin bots to jizz all over.
Owned. He's been pwned.
He's gonna keep 3D going for 6 more years.
Thing's on life support. He's by year
Star
6
Wars
be
will
like, I don't want
single-handedly.
to do this, but I said it would.
Star Wars is single-handedly going to keep 3D going for 6 more years because people will jump at the chance to see them in theaters again, even if they are in 3D. Which I have to admit, I would be very, very tempted to do that and see the original trilogy in theaters in 3D.
Heck yeah. It's
Edited?
the wars.
Edited or not edited, though?
I would prefer not edited, but you know we're not going to get that. He'll probably make further changes to the movies.
Like having Han shoot first.
Well, yeah, if you could make that change, that would be an actual good change. Go back to the way Han was. Don't fuck with it.
Because I have the edited versions, and I love because if you actually see the video edits of it, you can see that Han's head just kind of just shifts over for no reason. It's kind of like not even the neck connects. Like his head just kind of moves over like that.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
I haven't, I actually don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I've heard of that controversy, but I have not seen Star Wars nearly enough times to have even noticed that.
I have.
What scene is that even from?
From the
A New
bar
Hope.
scene.
When they
figures.
first introduced, and he's Han Solo, and he's sitting there and he's talking to Greedo, and Greedo's gonna kill him. And in the original movies, Han shot Greedo before Greedo could get a shot off.
And they decided that didn't go with his character.
They didn't think it'd be a quote unquote good role model or some shit like that.
He's a smuggler. How the hell is he gonna be a good role model?
Tell that to George Lucas and his coin bots of jizz. There you go.
Burn the sheets.
Oh, but yeah.
A grape smuggler. Oh, that had nothing to do with anything, but
Yeah, despite
I take it
besides Darth Vader, Han Solo and Lando Calrissian were the Han Solo, Lando Calrissian, and Darth Vader were the only really cool characters that probably people really looked up to, at least today. Yeah.
Lando was fucking badass.
Of course,
Fucking
he was played by Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams is awesome. He made a good Harvey Dent.
Man, I want tacos.
That was random.
Well, I was actually thinking about chili, but tacos would be nice too.
Dear diary, I want tacos.
Yeah, back to 3D business though.
Tacos.
The only
3D tacos.
I thought they would have that. It's called real life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no.
But this
Not
is
like this
TV.
before.
This has better resolution than real life.
Yeah. And it's more
This is
fun.
HD TV. Oh, I loved that quote from Futurama.
Yeah, but if you don't need glasses to eat them, they're not really 3D.
They could punch you. That'd be 3D.
That would be 3D if I'm wearing glasses. You
Do
see,
you
the
have glasses?
appropriate eyewear is crucial.
The other game I really want to play, Comic Jumper.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a good game. Like, it has a really good lot of good comedic elements. Like, that's the one thing I want to support. Comedic elements in video games now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there is
You're
a
huge.
special
That means you
attack
have
in
huge
Comic.
guts.
There's a special attack in Comic Jumper where you actually call the Pixel Junk or the Twisted Pixel team down to attack your enemies, and the game pauses, and you just see a bunch of human arms fly on screen and start punching. It's awesome. And then one of the Twisted Pixel guys, his head just pops up, and he turns around to the screen and headbutts. It's great.
Wow.
And it's got like the coolest villain ever, named Brad.
Brad.
We were all singing the Brad theme song today. Drinking my beer with the
Enthusiastic
straw.
muscle pumper. Brad. Never seen a Superfly Master Pimple as cool as this Brad. No, as bad as this Brad. That was it.
Yeah.
B is for the bodacious.
Can we not? Oh, please don't sing. Don't sing. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. I'm sexy, but I'm hurting. What's our next topic?
The Move has not sold up to expectations in the United States, selling 300,000 units in the United States in its first month. However, sales in Europe have been very strong, with more than 1.5 million sold in the first month. Sales are expected to increase over the holiday season as given, but I honestly cannot say that I honestly can say that I am not surprised that the PlayStation Move has not sold up to expectations. Granted, the thing is supposed to work extremely well, and it's supposed to be even more fluid than what you can get with the Wii, but I don't think your average person is going to care about it being more fluid than the Wii, because I think the Wii works just fine for your average gamer, and they're targeting the common non-hardcore gamer with this controller.
Well, I've actually tried the Move, and yes, it is actually a lot more responsive. And in fact, I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm actually really excited for it because they're making a new Time Crisis game with it.
That's cool.
Which I'm really excited about.
So they're not going to have to, come out with one of those peripherals that snaps on the end of it that makes it do its job. Like the Wii did.
Like they did with the Wii.
That's so
to give
funny.
Nintendo credit, they are adding that to the thing and releasing like a Wiimote with a Wii Motion Plus built in. So,
Good.
I mean, they should have done that to begin with, but at least they're doing that now.
As Yahtzee said, look, you schmuck, I'll stop complaining about the Nintendo Wii remote, the Nintendo Wii controllers when some magical fairy descends from the heaven to fix the freaking thing.
The angels sang a chorus, as down from the heavens came Chuck Norris. He delivered a kick that could shatter bones into the crotch of Indiana Jones.
Here he goes again. He's singing, ladies and gentlemen. He's singing.
You know you love that.
I do love some Lemon Demon. What a great name for a band. Lemon Demon.
But yeah, it is a lot more responsive, and actually, I think the only reason why it's not doing so well is because the Wii,
everybody also already has a Wii.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I have a Wii, my girlfriend has a Wii, and everything else.
Wii! They are doing a very smart thing with it that...
For a console that nobody talks about, the Wii does seem to be pretty much everywhere. Anyway.
Well, hardcore gamers don't talk about it because...
They're embarrassed to have one?
No, because the frequency at which it gets hardcore games is significantly less than the other two systems.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so... A lot of times when hardcore gamers talk about, like, oh, this new hardcore Wii game came out and I'm playing it, they'll be like, so I dusted off my Wii for the first time in a couple months.
Happens about as often as their owners get laid.
Hey.
Oh.
What?
But yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was mean.
Sony is doing one smart thing that I haven't really seen from Project Natal and the... Stop that. Stop!
I will not stop.
I will hit you.
In 3D.
But they are doing one thing with this that the Kinect is not doing, and that's giving it hardcore games. I mean, they're putting in they're putting in Move support for Resident Evil 5. That's a hardcore game. They'll have it right off the bat. They're doing the same thing with Heavy Rain. As far as future games go, and they're putting in Move support for the upcoming SOCOM game. That's pretty cool. And then they're doing stop it! Killzone 3 with...
They won't even hear that over the music, you realize. Okay, continue.
They're going to do Killzone 3 with the PlayStation Move. So, I mean, that's 4 hardcore games right off the top of my head, and I'm sure there are others. And that's a smart move, because a lot of the crowd that already has the PlayStation 3, the majority of them are hardcore gamers. So give them something that they will want. Be like, hey, I could try this out with the Move, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if I remember, Sony was pretty much the first company to actually use like motion controls in their own games. Like they used the iToy, which I had.
Yeah, the iToy that was the very first thing I thought of when I heard of Project Natal. I was like, so great, they're making the iToy.
Yeah. The only problem, though, I think the only problem that they could have is, well, one, you can't wear a black shirt whenever you're playing with it at all.
You have to stand like 5 feet away, 6 feet away from it. Most gamers don't have that much space in between their game system and their bed.
Hang on, what's it called now? Because it's not called the Natal anymore.
Kinect.
That's right.
Kinect.
I honestly think that's a good name. It reminds me of Kinect.
In the words,
anybody remember Kinects?
In the words of Linkara, poor literacy is cool.
I'm sure there's an acronym for it or something, but
Well, it's like kinetic and also connect. But it reminds me of Kinects. Remember Kinects?
yeah, the weird pieces that if you don't use it right, it can actually hurt you.
I don't know. I played with Kinects for years.
Your voice is
Give me a
like
clock
barely
of one.
registering again.
Your voice is very barely registering.
I was talking to him, Dingus.
Your mom.
Dorcas.
Your mom.
Dorcas.
Dweebus, Dorcas, Malorcas.
Yeah, that. You're an idiot.
You're a crude chew bit of food, dude.
Anyway, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that the Move has not sold exceptionally well at this point. The sales will get better, but I don't know if it's ever going to meet up to the expectations that Sony has. And they're expecting less sales than Microsoft is expecting with the Kinect. Microsoft's expectations with the Kinect are absurd, and they are not going to meet them.
But then again, it is Microsoft, so you can't really blame Bill Gates for that kind of thing, though.
You can't blame Bill Gates for anything. He's rich. That makes him perfect.
He has the most advanced house in the world, apparently.
I'm honestly surprised. It'd be cool to go there for a day, though.
I'm sure he has, like, one of those Make-A-Wish foundations. Like, he just has one of those dying kids coming to his house. Is like, take a tour of my magical. He turns like Willy Wonka or something.
Yes, he's wearing the top hat. He's wearing the top hat with like solitaire on it. He doesn't even have that. He just has a Make-A-Wish app.
No. That's Steve Jobs with iPhone, though.
Yeah.
No.
But
Yes,
isn't there a
totally.
Windows phone, though?
Well, no. Bill Gates has one. It just doesn't work. I love PC.
He presses the button to make a... Kids press the button to make a wish on their app, and they get the blue screen.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, for him. Like, he's just like... I wonder if there's such a thing as sushi pizza, and one shows up at his door because it, like, picked up on his perception of sushi pizza, and there it is. So it's like Michael Jackson in the digital age, basically.
Shall we move on and talk about...
No, I'm having too much fun with this. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about GameStop and their used games policy, because I watched... I don't think either of you guys are going to be familiar with this, but the Game Overthinker. His latest episode is on GameStop and what their used games policy is doing to the industry as a whole. And he's definitely got something there. And he's basically what he said was GameStop is pretty much operating on a pawn shop model, which is true. They encourage you at all times to buy used over new because that makes a whole lot more money for GameStop, and it makes no money for developers, which means if developers want their game to sell, they have to get it to sell really well on the first week. And the games that are going to sell, are surefire going to sell, are games that people recognize, which is why at places like E3 you saw sequel after sequel after sequel instead of new ideas.
Ah, okay. Now I see what you're getting at there.
Which so as a whole, GameStop is discouraging new ideas and giving and encouraging them to make the same game over and over and over again.
So basically, people won't want to
recognize
take a
brand.
risk. People don't want to take a risk and buy something that looks unique because they think that they might be stuck with it forever and not be able to resell it.
Yeah,
and stuff.
And GameStop does not give you a good trade-in price.
Well, I know that. I know that much. Screw them.
$20 for an Xbox, like an original Xbox, and 10 games for it. $20.
That's ridiculous. They should give you significantly more than that.
Exactly. At least, $50 or something dollars, like something like that. I understand it's an old system, but damn.
Then they're going to turn around and they're going to sell the original Xbox for about $100, and they're going to sell the games for $10 a piece. You know, the used game price is always about $5 less than the new game price. Why? What is the point in that?
Listen, people.
The movie company doesn't do. The movie industry doesn't do that. The car industry doesn't do that.
Listen, people. Use your dollar vote. Do not buy into that. Even if it's more convenient to have a one-stop shop, and buy your cutting-edge new games and stuff. Don't buy into this hoax. Go elsewhere at all costs. Do not give them your business.
Go to independent video game shops.
They're far between, but
for the
they're
love
awesome.
of God, support independent video game shops. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, go find Game Attack.
If you live in the Kutztown, Pennsylvania area, go to Young Ones. Great place.
I can't remember the one. There's actually one in Lebanon that I actually plan to go into.
Oh, cool.
I can't remember the name of
Lebanon.
of me, though.
Because I haven't found one around here yet, and it's kind of depressing. Which
there used to be
I
Funko
should
Land,
do
but
like,
they got bought out by GameStop.
Yeah.
And then there was EB Games, and they got bought up by GameStop. GameStop has no competition. They have a monopoly, and that's the problem. I wouldn't have a problem with GameStop if they had competition in the used games market, which would drive the prices of used games down.
Monopoly equals monotony.
But they don't. They have a monopoly on it because, there are a couple of other people that are trying to encourage used game sales. Amazon does it. Best Buy has started doing it. Even Walmart has started doing it because they see how much money GameStop makes from it.
Mm-hmm. I bet they have some kind of a no-compete agreement, though, that they all keep their prices high.
I don't know. Actually, I think Best Buy, that was like one of the big things, though. Best Buy is starting to do it now.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
They are.
I wouldn't be opposed to...
At this point, it's on a much, much smaller scale than what GameStop is, but... If you're going to shop at GameStop, buy the game new if you can. And I understand there's a necessity to shop at GameStop if you're going to look for a more obscure title that isn't going to be carried by a place like Best Buy. But even then, if you could wait a couple more days, you could get it online. Amazon will have it.
Yeah. Totally. Totally tubular, man.
And I'm not trying to preach against GameStop itself. I'm trying to preach against their policy and say, not let's run them out of town, but let's bring them down off their high horse, you know?
Mm-hmm. We have a stupid-sounding name. It's like the game stops here.
And the Game Over Thinker called it a revolution that he wants to start. And I've preached about I've preached about this same basic thing on the podcast in the past, and Epic Battle Cry has preached about it on their podcast as well. And it's about damn time gamers actually band together and did something about it, because we've done this to ourselves, people. We've dug this hole for ourselves.
We'll just sit back and let it happen.
And we can still climb out of it. It's not too late.
If I might play the devil's advocate here for a second. Most of the hardcore gamers, at least that most of them I know, do try and go to the independent games. But the people that are actually buying that stuff, the people who are going to get pre-used games, are parents and younger kids who won't listen to anyone else. They want to get the cheapest stuff that they can. Same thing with the parents. Most of the time, whenever I am in GameStop, I see kids that are like 12, 13, 14 years old, and their parents come in. Mm-hmm. At least in most of the GameStops that I've been in. So,
Yeah.
so unless you're going to be doing it to the mainstream, it's not going to really do a big attack on it unless you're doing it most online.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, everyone that listens to this podcast is going to be a hardcore gamer.
Yeah.
So I can only preach.
Well,
to
Higmo's
the-
not really a hardcore gamer. All he has is an Atari 5200, but he still loves us, and we love him.
I can
With-
only preach
with
to the
working
crowd
controllers.
that listens to this, and I can tell them all, find the game Overthinker number 41. It's called The Revolution. Spread it around to as many people as you possibly can. Make people listen. That's the only way this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, this is why I told you that I wanted to get someone who's going to take this podcast more seriously, because I knew I was going to get very militant and anti-GameStop's return policies and things like that. Because their return policies rip us off. The cost of their used games rip us off, but they encourage it because you can get it for about $5 cheaper and tax-free if you have the Edge card, and they make a shitload of money from it.
Lame.
So here's what I do. Whenever I want to get a game, I wait a few months to let the price go down to like about $40 because unfortunately I'm on unemployment right now, so I can't really do a whole lot with my money. But I do buy it new, but I wait a few months to have the price driven down a little bit because right now I can't afford any brand new out of the box games, which is probably why. Which
True that.
The only game which I'm going to pay the full $60 on the day it comes out is Portal 2. That's the only game that
I thought you were going to say Fallout New Vegas.
Well,
One of the few modern games that I've actually beat, Portal.
That's it. I can't wait to play it on the have co-op because I have so many friends of mine that are that you won't want to do that with me. Oh, man.
As good as Portal 2 looks, I would trade Portal 2 and both Left 4 Dead games if they would just fucking give us Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
Well, I'm sure they got a lot of angry emails about that, but
And this week, they had a big announcement, and it was Defense of the Ancients 2, and I was like, God damn it, Valve! This is not what I want!
Do not want.
Give me what I want!
Give what want.
maybe it's like one of those hidden codename things. You know, like the Katana for the Dreamcast or something like that. Maybe they're just hiding it for.
We should wrap it up.
Yeah,
It's getting
so,
late.
boycott used games at GameStop. Do it. Buy your games somewhere else. You can get it used at other companies if you don't want to buy it. No.
Just eBay it.
But we need
eBay
to
stuff.
bring them down a peg, and that's all I got to say about that. I got very, very militant there for a little bit, so so if that annoyed you, I'm sorry about that, but this is something I'm passionate about,
Video games.
as is evident by the fact that I have talked about this on this podcast in the past, not to the great length that I did today, but still.
Also,
Anyway.
if I may, also if you want to know what an independent game store is, ask the clerk if they have any Nintendo games. That's how you know that it's an independent now.
Ask what? Wait, what?
Ask the clerk in any independent game stop, in any independent game shop, if they have any Super Nintendo games. If they do, then you give
Young
their business
ones.
to them.
Young ones did.
You give their business to them. If they don't, screw them, go to another place, because they need to support classic retro gamers as well.
Mm-hmm.
There is a business in that, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, if you live in the
Totally.
Dallas-Fort Worth area, Texas, there are two of them, actually. The Game Attack, which is run by the people at Screw Attack. Support them. Screw Attack is awesome. Pro Jared runs that store. He is awesome.
Boom.com.
Support his store. Keep him going. Keep him in business. He fucking deserves it because he works his ass off for y'all. And then there's another one in Frisco. In the mall in Frisco, which is about 30 minutes outside of Dallas, I think. There is a
San
game.
Francisco's 30 minutes from Dallas?
Frisco, no,
Yeah, I know,
Frisco.
I know.
Frisco, Texas. And
know.
it is called Game Exchange. And they have an awesome collection. It's the only game store I've ever walked into where they had Atari Jaguar CD games.
Sweet.
That is how awesome this store is. That's my 2 recommendations. If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, support those 2. They are...
Young Ones in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. They have 2,600 games.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
They have Game Gear games.
I don't know of anything in this area, unfortunately.
As there's one in Lebanon, but it's a little bit far off. But
It's probably only like a half an hour. Or so.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I drove half an hour to get to this game exchange I just talked about.
Well, there you go. Next time we go up to see Jason, we gotta stop at Young Ones so you can see it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like a good independent game store.
Anyway.
Last time I was in Dallas, I gave my money to Game Attack. Anyway, it's about time we got going. We've kept you up long enough. We've used up plenty of your time, so we will talk to you guys next week. Say goodbye, Game Face.
Goodbye, Game Face.
And say goodbye, Glitch.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Dr. Nick. I know you were doing the Tommy Wiseau, but it's almost the same.
Can you tell the difference?
It's almost the same voice.
We'll have to figure out what accent I am.
Can bread fly?
Well,
No, it cannot. Night, America, and the world, and the moon, possibly.
I couldn't enter that gate. Forgive me, Tyrael. Forgive me. Marius, give me the stone, and all is forgiven. Give it to me, Marius. Take it. Take it, take it. I'm glad this is finally over, Tyrael. Look what the stone has done to me. You haven't failed, old man. You've done exactly as you were meant to do. However, I am not the Archangel Tyrael. There. No. No, 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 no. You have done well, Marius. Now I think you shall have your reward. I don't deserve